Hi, my name is Mrs. Jones Cheney, and I am a reassigned teacher through District 299, Chicago Public Schools. I'm a science and minor in math, so don't jump on me, teacher. My question is this: if a school is not a STEM school, but however there are schools that are in need of this type of implementation of programs, how would you bring this to a school? And what would you do? Would it be a full-fledged program, or would it be a partial program? How would you implement this, and at what stage would you begin?
Great question. I'm sure there's a lot of specifics involved in the particular school you have in mind, and we can't really address those. One of the points that we make in the putting it all together paper, that's the one with the blue cover, is that there's a lot of different ways to define what a STEM program is. Core to any definition that we think holds its water is a focus on the content of science and mathematics. And so I would peel back the onion and look really carefully about any program you're considering or working on, and make sure the math content is there and the science content is there. There's an example in that paper of a example school. It's not we wouldn't call it a model school because I doubt it'll scale. We take the case of UIC College Prep, which is a school on Chicago's near west side that has a really strong partnership with the UIC Medical Center, and it's getting pretty good results for kids. They actually don't consider themselves a STEM school, but they focus relentlessly on rigorous instruction in mathematics and science. How about another question?
Great. Hi. My name is Meredith Brocious, and I'm at Argonne National Laboratory. One of the questions that our table had, so I'm going to call the table up here too, we were a little curious as to what you meant by not focusing on unpacking. So many of us have been in unpacking workshops of standards, and I think there's some value in it, but we weren't sure what the conversation was when you said not to put focus on that anymore, and we wanted maybe more explanation on that.
So I think the idea there was not to focus on the small pieces of the standards and look at the tiny grain size, but focus on the bigger ideas. And focus less on the structure of how the standards are organized, but the kind of instruction that's called for and the kind of tools that you'll need in order to get there.
And there's another point that about the science standards where all the pieces are explicitly called out. However, it's clear that there are things that are missing. For example, understanding what evidence students need to bring to those performance expectations and show that they've fulfilled the performance expectations in the NGSS. There does need to be teachers will need help in figuring that out. But some people might call that an unpacking. I've heard that word used to describe that activity. But what we mean by not unpacking with regard to the math standards and the science standards is, not spending a lot of time trying to figure out what's there. Hopefully that helps.
I think we would argue that teachers, by and large, know what to do, but they don't know how to do it because there aren't the supports and the systems and the tools in place to do that. How about one more question? I can't quite see. So, over here? Oh, over here? We'll ask your question. I can't see you.
Alan Fluharty. I teach at Prosser High School with CPS. I teach, this year I'm teaching geometry, sophomores geometry for the first time, and I've taught chemistry and the science for many years. But several of the speakers have talked about teachers are going to need professional development. I think professional development in both science and math is just horrible at the high schools, in the high schools. So I guess my question is how are you going to implement this professional development, whether it's over 4 years or whatever, and who's going to pay for this professional development?
I can take that one. Again, it's interesting. There's an awful lot of money spent on professional development right now in Illinois. The problem is that, as you mentioned, a lot of it just isn't very good. My sense is that rethinking how that money gets spent and spent in more aligned ways that better serve schools and better serves teachers and better serve students is a big argument that we collectively will have to make to lots and lots of vested interested. That means helping teachers understand what kind of help they really need and what they can expect from professional development. It means helping principals understand better how to organize their schools to make it easier for teachers to learn from one another and not have to rely on outside consultants or vendors or whatnot as much. It means taking the big chunks of money. We make a recommendation about the math science partnerships, which is a big chunk of Illinois' money, and really thinking incredibly imaginatively about how to maximize those resources for professional development. But it's going to be a big challenge. No argument there.